All right. Let's go. Let's go with this and see where we end up. All right. Tonight's topic is supposed to be around surrender, how to let go, and the beginning fundamentals of that. All right. But I'll just go with it, and as I feel into you guys and what you guys need to hear, we'll just take it from there. All right. So my name is Travis. I've been doing this for almost 7 years. I'll tell you more about me. Right. So there is a lot going on right now. Um, in the with the collective, with people globally right now, and people are feeling very lost and confused and alone and segregated, and they're feeling like uh, they're losing a lot of people all at once, job losses, and it just feels like it can just feel like your entire life is falling apart. All right, and that's really intense. All right. I had to take like a week break from doing this just because it can feel so heavy and intense right now. Yeah, so there is a lot going on. Um, and it literally can feel like uh your life is falling apart. So I really wanted to kind of meet you here and let you know that firstly, you're not going through this alone. You're not crazy. Even though it feels very um, like haphazard and random and chaotic, and I would say life is crazy, all right. But you, as a person, are not. So I'm just going to take a pause here and sort of let this sink in. I kind of want to feel out where we're heading tonight. All right. Oh, yeah. And guys, all I can feel is a lot of chaos, right? A lot of chaos happening. Like there's a whole lot shifting within you, wanting to shift within you all at once. All right. I had a guy come up to me earlier, right, and he said that um he just feels so confused, so lost, and so alone. And even though he has done a lot of work on himself and does therapy and these things, it can just feel like life is making no sense. All right. So let me know if you resonate. So I realize that a lot of people are feeling like this. So I think it's good to just bring awareness to this. All right. The first thing I want to bring awareness to. All right, I'll take this really slowly. Just a couple of points I'll touch on tonight. All right, because I don't want you to feel any more overwhelmed. I'll say the purpose of this video is to just sort of bring awareness into what you may be currently feeling or experiencing, and you couldn't necessarily put that into words, nor could you really um, explain that to someone who is sort of ready and receptive to listen and actually understand what you are currently feeling and experiencing. And it's really stressful. I really do know this feeling so well. Uh, it can be even more stressful when, let's say, you go to a therapist or someone who should No, right? You're seeking someone to validate your experiences, but you feel like sort of alienated even more because you might feel like a test subject as opposed to someone sort of rallying off of you. And yeah, and you sort of kind of what you want is this, right? This back and forth of someone who actually is experiencing the same thing and can rally with you. And that in itself is extremely gratifying, extremely satisfying. It's very wholesome. It's very it makes you feel like a real person, right? You're actually alive, experiencing life, and you're not crazy, as alienated and crazy. All right, so I will just start here with that. All right. Yeah, I think it's really important to bring this experience, right? This human experience to you. And anyone who is experiencing this as well, right? And you might be the only person that you know of who is experiencing such a chaotic time in your life where everything is falling apart everywhere you look, right? And no one can really relate to these things because this is my next point. All right. So yeah, first point was, and I really wanna hold space for each of these points, right? Because they're so pertinent and valuable, right? First point being that you are not going through this experience alone, even though it feels that way. A lot of people are, however, yeah, I just wanted to bring some a light and awareness into that. Right, I fully am going through that same experience, right? I actually noticed that it happens yearly around this time, like July, even several months before that, stuff starts really crumbling until it gets really intense, which is around this time, right? I'll get to that. That's like my third or fourth point, right? So just stick around, or yeah. And I took it really harshly, uh, like the first couple of times, and I feel, yeah, I feel like it's an intense experience, no matter what, right? But it happens for the best. I'll just give you it one time. Life is stripping everything away from you that you no longer need, because you've been asking for change. But you have to let go. You've had to learn to let go of some stuff you've been holding on to, people, situations, job, a marriage, divorce, right? But you needed to become aware of it. Like you're being forced to come to terms with these things you're holding on to, or you have relationships with. You're holding that energy in your body, your psyche, your being. And it was really, yeah, important. I'll break that down as we go along, right? So let me know if that makes sense. Right. So yeah, second point is that why you feel like this is happening to you and you alone, because most likely you are the life is designed in this way whereby we get to have really curated experiences just for us. and with those people involved in your life. So, for example, you could not have experienced this loneliness and this lack of empathy and reflection back from someone else if you had what you truly desired, right? If you had like the most loving team around you of friends, family members, etc., which is where you are being pulled towards, right? We'll um yeah, that's where you're being pulled towards. But you've had to realize with your real eyes, uh, you've had to realize what is missing first. And I think I'll just conclude. I mean, I'll just yeah, spend this video on those 2 points. All right. Um, one being that a lot of people are having this experience, so you can definitely look to elevate your tribe, find communities of people who are looking to better themselves and their personal development, their circle. All right. Personally, there's a lot of cool groups, right? Just yeah, start you can start that dialogue in the comments or wherever, and we'll get to that, right? Um, and something else. Yeah, the second point is where I'll spend more time. So yeah, mm, yeah, I feel like you guys have so much questions with this, right? So like, why me? You know, why is this happening to me? Why now? Why not before? Or why not later on? You know, if I've been asking for change, why can't I decide when things change, right? Um, yeah, I think the biggest question is why, all right? And the reason why is, yeah, okay, either you have been actively asking for change, right, for things to change in your life, or a deeper part of you has been asking for change. Usually it's the latter, whereby a deeper part of you has been asking for more in your life, right? The symptoms of this, because you might not be aware of it, would be that same loneliness, all right? Number one symptom, I would say. But you've gotten so accustomed to coping with your loneliness that you have sort of stopped asking for more, all right? And you've just started asking for ways to cope with it, all right? Stuff you can plug yourself into, like Netflix and porn and, you know, cool stuff, right? But entertaining things that it takes your attention, all right? Um, but it doesn't solve the issue. It just takes up your time, all right? Which is fine. And I feel like I need to slow down here. Oh, and this is where your this deeper part of you comes into play. That part of you which knows that you want more, deserve more. You came on. I don't want to over exaggerate it to your mind, even though that's the reality that you really came, I don't know, on this planet to for more. It's your absolute purpose to experience more. You didn't come on Earth for a shitty human experience. You came to experience more abundance. all right? The richness of the human experience, as messy and chaotic as it is. Um, and a wholeness is essentially where we're getting to, we're all getting to as a species, right? As a consciousness who is fed up of just surviving and thriving and moving into wholeness and sustainability. I know it doesn't seem apparent, but it just depends on which country or which community you look at, because it's already apparent. It's already, existent. It's our own mindsets which prevents us from getting there. So the world right now, I'm going too fast. Um, yeah, so that previous point, uh, yeah, where it's this deeper part of you is responsible, right? And I'm so happy I backtracked because um this is where it gets messy, right? And this is where it becomes self-resentment and a lot of hurt and pain, and here is where all of the emotions and the turbulence exists. All right. You have been asking for change. This deeper part of you knows that you want and deserve more. Therefore, it calls on life to reveal to you situations which are not working in that direction of that more that you deserve. All right, if that makes sense. It really asks, it called on life to show you. So you call on life to show you, right? Deeper part of you has been asking for this, right? I need to be like real and frank with you here, right? You didn't come to me to bullshit you, right? You want the truth. You asked for a deeper part of you asked for more, right? I'm not saying it's your fault, because that's where the resentment and the challenge of it becomes really, really overwhelming. Like, oh, it's my fault now, so everything is it's this whole mess is my fault, and it's all on me, and every shitty decision I made is my fault, and life is just crumbling around me, and it's my fault, and this divorce is my fault, and my kid no longer speaking to me is my fault, and my abusive parents is my fault, and my friends having no time for me is my fault, and uh yes, yes and no. The thing is, there is something really beautiful that wants to birth from all of this chaos, right? All of this mess. Uh, yeah. Um, this might be. This is a lot. This is a lot. Yeah, I know this is a lot. That's kind of why I hesitated to make this video. It's so much. It's so much. It's so heavy. It's so much to deal with and face and go through. And it's so overwhelming, right? And nobody is talking about this, right? No one is really um, having these conversations and bringing these things to the surface. And you're just expected to go to work and try to piece everything together and hold your life together while everything is falling apart, and everything still falls apart, and you're still holding on, right? Because you need to survive. Um, and that is it's just so overwhelmingly chaotic, all right? That you become numb and cold and even more hardened by life and more plugged into attention grabbing sources to escape, and it just doesn't go, it doesn't get it it's yeah. it becomes really challenging, right? So I feel like I really needed to acknowledge that. And here's something interesting, right? People who are like drug addicts and stuff, right? People who are people just like you and I, but they've been called out by life in that same way you and I are being called on right now. And but life completely destroyed them, or they got completely destroyed by it, right? Because everything fall apart, right? The life became so heavy and overwhelming that escapism, they lost their job, right? Whether it was their fault or not, they could have been the best worker, right? People don't just, like throw everything away, especially when they are getting a lot from it, right? But yeah, they could have lost their job, right? Friends and stuff just no longer have time for them, especially if you're a guy. Like most guys, just don't have an active circle that genuinely is interested in the upkeep of each other, right? Like that doesn't really exist in most places, right? It exists, it does exist, but not in our uh it takes work, right? It takes a little bit of work. It doesn't happen naturally, is what I'm saying, right? Based on how society is structured. So stuff fell apart, right? Their job and career, social life, and they were being called on, right, to become for to they started getting lonely and depressed and a whole bunch of other symptoms. But it's just so much to deal with, right, and face and go through alone, because this conversation is never has never been had ever in any regular social public space, right? So it's how do you even begin to talk about something like this, right? uh, yeah, so they become so crippled and overwhelmed by life that that's where they end up, right? And the that's you know drugs or whatever it is, any addiction only serves to take time from us, occupy us mentally, because yeah, because until it's really to pass time, yeah, and to kind of escape from those really heavy, daunting, suppressing reality, right? Um, yeah, feelings, right? So yeah, that was something. And you may be worried now, well shit, this could happen to me, and that's so scary. I think that's insanely scary to think of. And so therefore we must learn to navigate this. All right. What's the best outcome? Okay, so first of all, I'll let you know I'm navigating this with you, all right? As with all of the intensity, all right? I barely have much going for me right now. This live is just a um to build an audience eventually overnight, but I don't know. Anyways, but I'm also navigating this with you, and I intend to do it in the most beneficial way. Although I haven't been coping with it well per se, but I also am confident that I'll get what I need from it. All right. So I am developing more trust with life, and I'm also, yeah, like deepening my tools and resources and my ability to sort of manifest uh yeah, to kind of let life flow through me, right? But anyways, yeah, I'm deepening my relationship with life, all right, and my connection and understanding with life and its dynamics. It's kind of what I'm really after here because I've had this happen a couple times, and every time it would keep telling me to stop resisting, and actually face what it is you want. All right. And I would say this year I've received the most support for it, where my relationships have really elevated. Um, I generally find that it's hard to kind of get people to regular people to hold this kind of space for you. Um, you usually would. I find that people of a higher consciousness, right, tend to be like coaches and healers and mentors, right, because they have really gone through it, right? So, uh, I have, thankfully, I'm in a couple of those spaces, and that's why I'm also here providing this for you to hold space for you, right? So, yeah, um, yeah, I find is that, yeah, that really helps, right? Having your space held, yeah, um, and to stop resisting, I guess, and really begin to listen. All right. So I'm gonna end this here because I feel like I covered what you needed to hear tonight with those two points. All right. One, you're not going through this alone. I actually encourage you now to reach out to those men's support groups and spaces where you can receive more conversation around what you're going through, so it feels less alone, and that can tremendously help, right? Um, there is this group I'm really enjoying right now. It's Speak Your Mind, a men's group. I joined 2 weeks ago. They have meetups every 2 weeks. That's a really good one. I'm really enjoying that space now. It's free, so just join that one. So there's many others. We can begin to list them in comments if you want. All right. And two is that, hmm, yeah, it's this deeper part of you that is asking for more. So your homework until my next live is, what do you want more of, right? So what do you want? What's that calling you feel? You're that's so much of a deep question. Guess what do you feel like? Um, yeah, like you're wanting, you deserve more of, right? What do I deserve more of, right? In your health, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health, right? Or just to health. Um, your relationships, friends. This includes every type of relationship, all right? Money, finances, and living spaces, right? So this is where you spend most of your time. How would you like this space to look, right? So yeah, this is me. I'm signing off. I've been doing this work for this year will be 7 years. So I've been certified as an intuitive life coach, which means I'm really good at feeling into things and consciousness and the dynamics of life really deeply. So I can pinpoint and hold space like nobody else. And yeah, uh, yeah. I, I, I guess I really uh enjoy this work. So if you feel like you need to reach out, please do so. You just want your space held or something like that. You can book a session or just reach out and whatever. And we'll just make sure that you receive your support, right? So maybe we'll just plug you into our community. All right, thank you so much. And um, do your homework until our next video, right? So could be this week or next week. All right. Thank you so much and good night.